A very good morning to you all. Welcome to online session of 2021 and 22. I am Jaya Verma and I will teach you political science in this session. So, for political science, your book is Contemporary World Politics. This is your book for this session. This is book 1, and the other one, when I will start the chapter from that book, I will show you that book. So let's start the first chapter, that is the Cold War era. So I will read line by line from this chapter and I will explain it to you. So this chapter provides a backdrop to the entire book. Means this chapter is the base for the entire book. The end of the Cold War is usually seen as the beginning of the contemporary era in world politics, which is the subject matter of this book. It is therefore appropriate that we begin the story with a discussion of the Cold War. Means Cold War, what is Cold War and in which two countries they had Cold War? We will discuss all this in this. So the chapter shows how the dominance of two superpowers, the United States of America and the Soviet Union, was central to the Cold War. Means these were two superpowers, that is the United States of America and the Soviet Union. These were the two superpowers and Cold War was between these two superpowers. So it tracks the various arenas of the Cold War in different parts of the world. The chapter views the non-aligned movement as a challenge to the dominance of the two superpowers and describes the attempts by the non-aligned countries to establish a new international economic order as a means of attaining economic development and political independence. Means under this chapter, in this chapter we will see non-aligned movement. This was a challenge to the dominance, means to the control of the two superpowers, and this described that how that this non-aligned countries, they established a new international economic order, and this was for attaining economic development and political independence of their own. It concludes with an assessment of India's role in NAM and asks how successful the policy of non-alignment has been in protecting India's interest. Means the conclusion, this is how what was the India's role in NAM and how the successful the policy of non-alignment has been in how this non-alignment policy was protecting India's interest. So let's start the chapter with Cuban Missile Crisis. What is Cuban Missile Crisis? In April 1961, the leaders of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, means USSR, they were worried that the United States of America would invade communist-ruled Cuba and overthrow Fidel Castro, the president of the small island nation of the coast of the United States. Means here on April 1961, the leaders of the Union of Soviet Socialist, means the leaders of the USSR, they were worried that United States of America, they would attack the communist ruled Cuba and they will overthrow the Fidel Castro, who was the president at the time of that small island nation, that was Cuba. So Cuba was an ally of the Soviet Union and received both diplomatic and financial aid from it. Means Cuba was a small island and it received both diplomatic and financial aid from Soviet Union. So Nikita Khrushchev, the leader of the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev was the leader of the Soviet Union. So he decided to convert Cuba into a Russian base. How? In 1962, he placed nuclear missiles in Cuba. So in 1962, this Soviet Union, they placed placed nuclear missiles in Cuba, and the installation of these weapons put the US for the first time under fire from close range and nearly doubled the number of bases or cities in the American mainland which could be threatened by the USSR. Means they put weapons in US for in Cuba for the first time, and this was the time when US came under pressure and for the fire to close range, from where they can attack on America, and nearly double the number of bases or cities in the American mainland which could be threatened by which USSR can threaten America. So 3 weeks after the Soviet Union had placed the nuclear weapons in Cuba, so they placed missiles in Cuba, and after 3 weeks America became aware of it. America came to know about it, and then the US President John F. Kennedy, what he did, he and his advisors, they were his advisors also, they were reluctant to do anything. Means they were unwillingly, they wanted to do that might lead to full scale nuclear war between these two countries, means USSR and USA. But they were determined to get Khrushchev to remove, means they want Khrushchev to remove the missiles and the nuclear weapons from Cuba. They were forcing Soviet Union to remove the missiles from there. Then Kennedy ordered American warships to intercept any Soviet ships heading to Cuba as a way of warning the USSR of his seriousness. Means what they did, that Kennedy, they ordered American warships to stop any Soviet ships which were going to Cuba as a way of warning, and that was a way of warning, that was a warning for USSR about this seriousness. So a clash seemed imminent in what came to be known as. So a clash could happen, a war could happen between these, and this was known as Cuban Missile Crisis. The prospects of this clash made the whole world nervous. So as the whole world know about these two superpowers, and there was Cold War going on between these two, so the whole world became very nervous, and they were they were thinking that whatever war is going to be, that will not be an ordinary war. So eventually, to the world's great relief, both sides decided to avoid war. So both the super powers, they decided not to have a hot war. The Soviet ships slowed down and they turned back. The Cuban Missile Crisis was a high point of what came to be known as the Cold War. So this Cuban Missile Crisis was a very hot point, and this came to be known as the Cold War. And what is Cold War? The Cold War referred to the competition, the tensions, and a series of confrontations between the United States and Soviet Union. Means Cold War is referred to be the competition. There was a competition between these two, and this competition created a series of confrontation between these two superpowers, backed by their respective allies, and their allies was also supporting them. Fortunately, however, it never escalated into a hot war. Means, however, it did not resulted into a hot war, that is a full-scale war between these two superpowers. There were wars in various regions also, with the two powers and their allies involved in warfare and in supporting regional allies. That means they were supporting regional allies also, but at least the world avoided another global war. If there would be a hot war between these two superpowers, the whole world would have been affected by it. So the Cold War was not simply a matter of power rivalries. This was not only a matter that both these superpowers, they were rivals of each other, of military alliances. They were not only competing about the military alliances and of the balance of power. These were accompanied by a real ideological conflict as well. A difference over the best and the most appropriate way of organizing political, economic and social life all over the world. So what was it? So they were not only competition about the military power, about the power rivalries, about the power alliances and of the balance of power, but it also was the main thing was a real ideological conflict was going on between these two superpowers. So the Western Alliance, there were two alliances, Western Alliance and the Eastern Alliance. So the Western Alliance, it was headed by US and they represented the ideology of liberal democracy and capitalism, while the Eastern alliances that was headed by Soviet Union and that was committed to the ideology, means Eastern alliance was having ideology of socialism and communalism, and Western alliance, which was headed by US, they were having the ideology of liberal democracy and capitalism. Student, this is very important. The Western alliance still the communism, sorry. This is very important. A question can come of 1 mark into your exams. So you have already studied these ideologies in class 11. So now, as we are so much discussing about Cold War, what is Cold War? So now how this Cold War started? What is the Cold War? When it started? The end of the Second World War is a landmark in contemporary world politics. As the Second World War came to an end, that was a landmark for the world politics. In 1945, the Allied forces that was led by US, Soviet Union, Britain and France, they defeated the Axis powers which was led by Germany, Italy and Japan, and this ended in the Second World War that was in 1939 to 1945. The war had involved almost all the major powers of the world and spread out to regions. Means this war had involved all the major powers of the world, and this also spread out in the regions which was outside Europe, including Southeast Asia, China, Burma, which is now known as Myanmar, and parts of India's northeast. Then the war devastated the world in terms of, means this war resulted in terms of, we had very loss of human lives and civilian property, and the First World War had already shaken the world between 1914 and 1918. Then the end of the Second World War was also the beginning of the Cold War. As the Second World War came to an end, and it was the starting of the Cold War. The World War ended when the United States, and how this World War ended? When the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, and that was mainly for Japan to surrender. As the critics already know, critics of the US decision, they dropped the bombs. They had argued that the US knew that Japan was about to surrender, and this was not necessary that they should drop a bomb over there. They suggested that the US action was intended to stop the Soviet Union from making military and political gains in Asia and elsewhere, and to show Moscow that the United States was supreme. All of this was, they want to show that United States was a superpower, supreme, it was above all. So US supporters have argued that the dropping of the atomic bombs was not necessary to end the war quickly. Otherwise it would have linger on, chalta hi chala jata, and to stop further loss of American and Allied lives. Whatever the motives, the consequences of the end of the Second World War was the rise of the 2 new powers on the global stage. Means the result of the Second World War was, we got 2 superpowers on the global stage. With the defeat of Germany and Japan, the devastating of Europe and in many other parts of the world, the United States and the Soviet Union became the greatest power in the world with the ability to influence events anywhere on the earth. Means superpowers means becoming supreme. They can do anything to any country which are being under the dominance of these 2 superpowers. While the Cold War was an outcome of the emergence of the US and the USSR as 2 superpowers rival to each other, it was also rooted in the understanding that the destructions caused by the use of atom bombs is too costly for any country to bear. Means the destruction which was caused by the dropping of the 2 bombs, that was too costly for any country, and any country cannot bear all this. The logic is simple yet powerful. When 2 rival powers are in possession of nuclear weapons capable of inflicting death and destruction unacceptable to each other, a full-fledged war is unlikely. when two superpowers are fighting with each other, each of them, the main thing is both of them want to show that he is supreme or he is supreme. In spite of provocations, neither side would want to risk war since no political gains would justify the destructions of their societies. So, in the event of a nuclear war, both sides will be so badly harmed that it will be impossible to declare one side or the other as the winner. So, in case of a nuclear war or so much destruction, whether it is of property or of humans, so both the sides are being badly harmed by it, and it is very impossible to declare that which side is the winner. Even if one of them tries to attack and disable the nuclear weapons of its rival, the other would still be left with enough nuclear weapons to inflict unacceptable destruction. This is called the logic of deterrence, means in which both sides have the capacity to retaliate against an attack, means they can do counter attack on each other, similar attack they can do, but and to cause so much destruction that neither can afford to initiate war, and so much destruction will be there so much human beings will be destroyed, property will be destroyed, natural vegetations is also destroyed, and no one will accept that to initiate to take any another initiative to have a war. Thus the Cold War, in spite of being an intense form of rivalry between great powers, remained a cold and not hot or shooting war. Means Cold War means we can say vicharon ki ladai. That is the thing. Though there is competition between both the superpowers. Acha, you have made this nuclear weapon. I will make more better than this. So the deterrence relationship prevents war, but not the rivalry between the powers. So this deterrence, they have relationship. What relationship they have? That relationship they have, means that they are rivals of each other. And in Cold War, this rivalry is shown in each and every field. Note the main military features of the Cold War. What are the features of the Cold War? The two superpowers and the countries in the rival blocs led by the superpowers were expected to behave as rational and responsible actors. They were to be rational and responsible in the sense that they understood the risk in fighting wars. Means these two superpowers, they understood that there is a great risk in fighting these wars that might involve the two superpowers. And when two superpowers and the blocs led by them are in deterrence relationship, fighting wars will be massively destructive. If they will have hot war between them, that will be massive destruction. Responsibility, therefore, meant being restrained and avoiding the risk of another world war. So, in this sense, the world war managed to ensure human survival. So, if there would be a hot war between these two superpowers, there will be great destruction, massive destruction on the world. And if this hot war took a shape of the Cold War, in this Cold War, human beings were surviving. They managed to survive themselves. So, this is all for today, students. I hope you must have understood. If you have any problem, please you can ask in query section. And for this, you have to read the chapter, read the pages from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Till page number 5, you have to read it. Thank you and have a nice day.